Welcome to Coming In Hot. Thank you live from Airplay Beats for the intro music. We are recording live from Darling New Media Studios in Midtown Sac. Now my next guest is, there's some people that you meet in life, and this guy is like me 10 years ago. He's 10 years younger than me. He's been doing this thing since he was 16. So we got a vet, 14-year vet, only 30 years old, runs my whole goddamn company. Everybody looks at me and is like, oh, see, you do this, you do this, you do that. I can't do it without this guy next to me. If you don't know who I'm talking about right now, we're talking about Chef Matthew Rocha. What up, Matt?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so this is meeting the crew. I started this because, like I said, I'm the face, of course, but there's so many other people that are in my company that they run the thing. But this guy right here, as soon as I met him, I knew I was gonna have to take you from wherever you were. One of the hardest workers, one of the best looking guys I know. Rocha. How did you so let's take it all the way back. So how did you get into cooking? Because you've been cooking for a long time, since you were 16, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, C. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So basically, I started cooking with both my grandmas from my mom's and my dad's side, and then really got into it in high school. I went to San Juan High, and they had a big culinary program. Shout out to Miss Coulter for dealing with me back then when I was a shithead. But yeah, we did competitions everywhere. We traveled, and then I figured out I was good at it, so just kind of went with it. Started out in fine dining at Slocum House in Fair Oaks, and it's all history after that.
So were you cooking at the Slocum House when you were 16?
Go
ahead.
I was just the pantry and salad guy.
All right, so people that don't know who was Slocum House, tell them what Slocum House was back then.
Back then, it was probably one of the most fancy restaurants, definitely in Fair Oaks, but super old school, fine dining, servers with the long aprons, just super fancy, fine dining.
Yeah, and one thing that we both started out at, me with Moxie when I was 20, and that was like the talk of the town back in 2000. I didn't know what I was into. I was just cooking. I didn't know anything about restaurants. Like the fanciest restaurant I was going to back then was probably Chili's or Chevy's or something like that. But you step in. When I stepped in, and you didn't go to culinary school, you went to your your high school culinary school. But some things like that people don't know, like when they step into these places, especially when I was 20, I'm sure when you're 16, did you know what kind of restaurants you were actually in? Did you like Slocum House was fine dining? Because I didn't know that Moxie was fine dining. I didn't know what fine dining was. So what was your opinion about Slocum House when you started there at 16?
I was scared. It definitely was an intense kitchen to work in. But yeah, I realized later on that how fancy of a restaurant it was. At that time, I really didn't know. I was 16, 17, first job, just trying to make it. And, all the guys showed me love, so I fell in love with it.
Yeah. And what was the dynamic in this kitchen? Because we got war stories of, when we were coming up, and we talk about them all the time. So what was the temperature in that kitchen? Was it, like slamming plates, slinging shit out as fast as possible? Like what was what kind of, I guess, climate was in that kitchen, especially like back then?
It was definitely coming in hot, not like it is nowadays. Yeah, definitely chef, very intense, throwing saute pans, You know, it was just a small 3-line cooks and a pantry chef with your, you know, pastry chef. It was a small kitchen, but everybody was on their stuff and definitely intense. Plates flying and saute pan slamming for sure.
Yeah, the high flames,
Yeah.
a lot of marks on your arms that you'll never get rid of unless you
Oh yeah.
pay some big money. You know? Yeah, man. So, so you're at Slocum House. How long were you at Slocum House for?
I was there probably a year and a half.
Okay, and what was, you know, were you still in the pantry at this time when you
I
left?
started running lunch shifts, so I was the lunch cook,
Okay,
just doing their burgers.
what kind of items were you cooking at the Slocum House
You know,
during
the
lunch?
steak frites and fancy burgers,
Mm-hmm.
kind of, you know, getting into the stuff. Not running during dinner service yet, but I was getting there.
Yeah, and did you ever make it to dinner service?
No, I ended up leaving. We got a new chef out, and I followed the crew up to El Dorado Hills, Sienna after that.
Oh, okay. So
And that's when I
how'd you hook up with Sienna?
Sienna, one of the cooks there, he was like the lead line cook. He lived in El Dorado Hills and found out a restaurant was opening there. Got a new chef. You know what happens when a new chef comes in?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the crew leave. So I followed them up there and then ended up working with that company for off and on for about 5 years.
Yeah. So let's get into it
Yeah,
because
let's do it.
because we got a background with, you know, the Platt crew up
Yeah.
at Sienna and you know, in El Dorado, and then they ended up opening Land Ocean and Folsom. But the how we kind of crossed paths was you so you opened up Sienna and Elk Grove. How was that opening?
The one in El Dorado Hills.
Oh, El Dorado Hills, sorry.
Yeah, it went really good. I mean, they knew what they were doing. We had a lot of cooks. It was really fun how they were doing it. They hired way too many cooks, and then we would just take turns jumping on the line, and you know, the best survive basically. So that
Yeah.
was really fun.
And what was your what what was your position when you started there?
I just started off on pantry there in
Okay,
a couple months.
what were you cooking on the pantry when you started?
We were doing seared tuna dishes. We had an induction burner set up for gorgonzola puffs. We were doing beignets to order, so it was an intense pantry station for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday brunches we did, omelet station. It was a 300-seat restaurant, so it was busy. Learned a lot for sure.
Yeah, so the brunches at Sienna, I remember I think I went like once and
Yeah,
it was massive. It
yeah,
was like,
huge.
yeah, it was a huge brunch. And, you know, like, how were you guys cooking all this dang on food? You know, you had a pretty big kitchen out there.
Yeah.
I went and interviewed with the first chef out there. And
Mhm.
what was that guy's name again?
That was John Nelson.
Yeah, John Nelson. So I went out there. I think at the time, you know, everybody was kind of leaving Crush 29, and you know, I found the reason I stayed at Crush 29 is because they gave me freedom on the damn menu, so I was
Mhm.
staying. But you know, how was John Nelson as a, you know, executive chef? And I know he kind of left the business after this, so I don't
Yeah.
know what really happened. But how was he as an opening chef?
Um, I enjoyed working for him. His food was really good. He kind of had an Asian inspired kind of menu,
They like that.
which Mark Platt loved. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
soy ginger sauce on everything.
Loves it.
And his opening sous chef was really good too. Brian, I forget his last name, but he ran a whole bunch of yard houses, and he was a tough guy. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely learned a lot from both of them.
Yeah. And you know, speaking about you know, Mark Platt, how how was your how was your journey with Mark Platt?
Oh, it was a long one. So I opened Sienna El Dorado with them just as a cook, worked my way up, and then they promoted me to sous chef at 20 or 21. So I was
Mm-hmm.
pretty much helping run Land Ocean Folsom when they opened that up. They
Mm-hmm.
transferred me over. Got to learn how to break down meat, break down fish,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. And then went to a different, I think I was your sous chef for about a month at Bella Brew, Carmichael.
I don't think it lasted a month.
I
think it was more like
quick.
a weekend.
After that, bounced around, helped open up Cask and Barrel, which is closed down, but I think you and your wife ate there one time.
Yep.
Really, really good food.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if I gave Mark Platt a call or he gave me a call, but they were open in Siena Roseville. So I joined the crew with them as executive sous chef.
Okay.
And opened that up, got transferred, worked there for about a year at Roseville, helped open it up, got transferred back to the El Dorado one as executive chef.
And how old were you at this time?
I was 25 at this time.
Were you ready for it?
No, I was not. I don't think anybody's ever ready for it. It's a big job.
Yeah, well, my first head chef position was when I was 25 too, and I was not ready for any of it coming. It wasn't even, it was like a little bar out in South Sac, but like you got all the pressure on you at this point, and you're trying to please the owners, you're trying to please, the customers, and trying to, I rolled in at 25 and there was like people that are 40, you're trying to like tell these older people, like, hey, this needs to be done. This, what kind of looks were you getting when you're 25 and you're at a, upper casual? It's not real fine dining, but, is pushing the boundaries of, upper casual, and, it's not TGI Fridays by any means, but, it's not, white tablecloths, but I'm sure you have to have some pretty experienced cooks in there.
Oh yeah, we were cranking, man. It was a busy restaurant. First experience kind of with that would be at Land Ocean when I was 21. And
okay.
I run expo line, and my grill cook, I'd ask for how long is that medium rare? They'd just say, fuck you, So you're talking about 30, 40-year-old cooks, and you're trying to get orders from a 20-year-old. So that was difficult. For the most part, my kitchen staff in El Dorado Hills respect me because I was with the company for a while, so it was an easy transition with that. We're just learning all the numbers and all that stuff. That's the big boy stuff there.
Yeah, and going into the numbers, another way that we connect is like one of our mentors. We weren't together, but one of my mentors, Brian Hawkins, and I know you're really close with him. Tell me a little about Brian Hawkins and what he meant to you.
Brian Hawkins, man, that guy's taught me a lot. We opened up Marietta Hotel together, and that was fun. He's definitely a numbers guy. If you need a recipe for anything, that guy's got it. Very smart guy. Just a bold chef that you can learn a lot from.
Yeah.
He's got those inventory sheets. You need something, he's got you.
Yeah. And, the one of the reasons I love Brian is because, he didn't have to pay anything forward, like he was, just one of those chefs who, background in, Ruth Chris and, what was wasn't he at the pilot houses too? Like he was all over the place.
Yeah, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, and plus, we went to the same culinary school too, so we had that in common. And like something, and I need to reach out to Brian, see if he wants to come on here too, just to pick his brain. But one of those chefs that, they're one in a million, because a lot of chefs don't try to give anything up. They try to keep everything in their pocket, so they have the upper hand. But Brian was I think the first chef that I came across where, I was like, hey, I'm at Crush 29. Irie left or got fired or whatever happened with that situation. And then, I have Jesse, which took Irie's spot, and the guy didn't know, like he said he couldn't read. And this is coming from Jesse, so I got kind of put in the task of, trying to figure out inventory and putting a P&L together, putting a recipe, putting costs together, like, so I went to Hawkins and I was like, hey man, like, it's just me over here, and he set me down and, told me to bring a thumb drive and, he let me take pretty much everything from him that he had, and something that I always be grateful for, and something that I keep till this day. And most of my costing is from Brian Hawkins, all of his programs that he had. So moving forward, man, so you worked with me like on and off. I don't know when you came, when you went. So we first got together at Bella Brew. We've known each other. We've maybe conversated a couple times, but had a deep respect for each other. You came to Bella Brew. It wasn't a good fit. And then I think I called you. I think maybe you called me and was like, hey, how's the food truck? And I had like this shift at a dispensary. And I was like, well, if you want to learn, I got this shift over here that you want to do. So
remember that day.
Yeah, the 420, I think it was 2015 or 2016. How was the first day on a food truck for you, Matt Rocha?
It was horrible. First time on a food truck, we're driving down the road, and I'm sitting in that small little chair next to you, and shit's flying off the shelves. We get to the event, and we're doing like a whole bunch of loaded fries for all these stoners, right? Yeah. And your fryers at the time, you throw 2 baskets down, and they just go out.
Yeah.
Fries are just boiling. I was like, this shit, what are you getting into?
Yeah. And this is back when I'm making the pork belly to order. We're doing fries to order. We're just not sandbagging at all. I was chefing it up on the food truck. The only thing is that food truck wasn't ready to do like a loaded fry 420 dispensary event.
Hey, I still came back though.
You did come back for a little bit. So that was Cecil's Taste Days. So you came back when we were kind of messing around with this chicken sandwich. I think you were doing the Merceds with us, right?
Yeah. And Jake.
Yeah, me, Jake, and John.
Yep.
Yeah. How was UC Merced? How was the UC Merced days for Rocha? And I think this is what this is when you left again, because UC Merced.
Those were long days, but they were fun. I remember specifically that one day it was just me, you, and Jake.
Yeah.
We had like $7,000. Yes. Jake back there the whole time.
Yes.
Just building burgers all day.
Yes.
I mean, it was fun. Doing it every day? I don't know, but
yeah, so UC Merced was once a week, and you ended up going to what was that place called way out there?
I went to Park Winners.
Yes, you had to get the chefy out again.
I know, I had to.
He had to get the tweezers out.
Yeah, those tweezers, yeah.
So how was Park Winners? Tell me, because I want to see how Park Winners was, because you came back after Park Winners, because Park Winners ain't playing around. They got how many courses out there?
Well, so what they did at Park Winners was basically a big farm. You had your own chicken eggs. You had every produce you can think of. So we'd go out there and pick our own stuff. It was really fun. But we would do farm dinners about twice a week. And those were 12 courses. Tweezers, microgreens, fanciest food, prettiest food you can ever look at. Mm-hmm. And then the other days we would do weddings, which would be 200 people all plated. So it was intense.
And you're doing courses for the these two?
Yeah, the plated salads, plated entrees.
Oh, so it's not the 12 course.
Oh, the 12 course would only be about 40 to 60 people.
Gotcha.
But still, you got to think 40, 60 plates, 12 courses, that's a lot of plates.
That's a lot of plates.
But back would be hurting from putting microgreens on.
Wrist over there hurting because you're tweezing so much.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you come back, and did you come back to Cecil's Taste, or was it Nash and Proper by then?
Well, I think Cecil's Taste and Nash and Proper were running at the same time. You already had open Nash and Proper. So I was kind of running Cecil's Taste for you.
Yeah.
And then that's when you wrap both trucks with Nash and Proper.
Yeah. So what was your opinion of, getting away from all the burgers, like out of everything, Cecil's Taste was delicious. It was a good menu. It was chefy, like we were doing okay. But what was your opinion of going from Cecil's Taste to this juggernaut of making just the chicken sandwich? Because pretty much we had the tenders and the wings on the menu, but every single order had this chicken sandwich on it. What was your opinion of what we were doing at the time? Because we were all in at this point.
Yeah, you were. I was kind of hesitant at first, but what kept me to stay is that chicken sandwich was delicious and people were lining up to get it. So I knew you had something great with it. And I mean, I love working for you, and I just kept on with it. Now I sell chicken sandwiches.
And that's saying a lot, for you, because you could be anywhere, and I'm just gonna tell you to your face, you are great at what you do. And it's not just the cooking part, it's the organization. It's it's one of those things where you don't get it around right now. Is you're a millennial, you're in that age range of being a millennial, but you don't act like one. And I don't, I'm just saying this from somebody that, I had to learn to adjust myself to the millennials and, how to work around them, because it isn't, 2000 where there's a plate coming at your head. Well, you can throw a plate at somebody's head, but you're going to have a lawsuit. How, where are you coming from? Because you are technically a millennial. How did you get away from this attitude that, we got a lot of them in our company? How did you sidestep, being this way? And I don't got nothing against millennials. This is how they were raised, computers, you got everything at your fingertips, How did you bypass this?
I think it was just growing up. I always had older friends, and then just basically growing up in the kitchen with older chefs and older cooks, learning from them and just following their footsteps, basically.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, my journey, I've worked at a couple places with Brian Hawkins. I've been a couple places with you, a couple places with one of my other mentors, Gabe Glazier, which is a great, great chef. Yeah, I kind of just followed them around wherever they went.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen all the hard workers, and I wanted to be them and follow them, and made it work.
Yeah, and that's one thing I always tell people: if you're going into a chef position, and the reason why I got the supervisor position at Crush 29 was because I told Irie I wanted his job. And he was like, hey, if you want my job, come get it. And that was the mentality, especially back then, is you don't want to go in somewhere and just be stuck, in the pantry. There's some people that's what they do. They're pantry cooks. They, they're going to be clean. They're going to get the food out, and they're going to leave after they shift. and they're going to come back again and do it. And they've been doing it for 25, 30 years. What made you want to get to the position that you are today, Matt?
Let's see. I just love the restaurant business, and I realized, I mean, I didn't want to get stuck on pantry station all my life. To move to grill, saute. I mean, like you said, you'll see those broiler cooks that are just broiler cooks for their whole life. I guess just me, I like challenges. I get bored easy. So if there's nothing challenging me, I'm just gonna stay out where you're at. That's not me.
Yeah, we definitely got that in common also. We talk about it all the time. Like, all right, what are we gonna do next? And you, like I said in the beginning, you're always right there next to me. Any kind of harebrained shit I got going on. You're one of those people who are like, hey, let's just try it. If it don't work, it don't work. If it does, it does. Cool.
Yeah. So how many extra shifts is Cecil gonna book this week?
Hey man, the catering's be coming in late, but we gotta get them out. Hey, we do got that big drop off this weekend though. Don't forget about that.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. All right. So we're doing all right. So during 2019, me and Jake go off to do this, calling all dreamers. At this point, we have 2 trucks. We're working on a 3rd truck, and now we're going after restaurant now. Where was your head? Where was your head? Because you're running pretty much, 2 trucks. We were still we haven't got our commissary yet, so we're still in this back room at the yard. Like, what's going through your mind? Me and Jake, I think Jake was working on the truck the trailer at this point. I think you were on the small truck. And then I'm over here talking about, hey, we're doing this calling all dreamers. We got a good chance of winning. What was your mind frame?
I mean, my mind frame is always trying to figure out what's going on in Cecil's head. But no, I mean, always the goal is to get that restaurant. The food trucks were fun. You get through those big festivals and all that. But it's hard work, especially at that Richards Boulevard location. You got a tiny little prep kitchen you got to share with other people. It was difficult, filling up propane every day, making sure you're on time. I mean, there's just a lot more that goes with those food trucks.
Yeah, and people think it's easy.
And people think it's easy, and it's not.
No.
It's grinding.
Yeah.
You got 16, 18-hour days. I mean, the travel time, all that. There's a lot more to it than people think. But I mean, I always thought the main goal was the restaurant. So it's been working so far. That commissary is nice we got over
there. The commissary was key for the growth of Nash and Proper for sure.
Oh yeah, you're walking through those lakes over there at the
yard. with the carts and trying to get through the gravel and oh my goodness. Bringing back memories here. All right, so we win calling all dreamers. We get our restaurant. We figured out 10th and K is the spot, the old mother spot. Everybody's super excited, and then the pandemic hits. I don't even remember those days. Maybe you do. What was going on? What did we do to get through this pandemic? What was the pivot that we did in the beginning?
Oh man, it was tough. You had to start all those damn computers. You got DoorDash, Uber Eats, Chow Now,
Square Online.
Yeah, order online. That helped out a lot. That Northgate location was cracking for a while.
Yeah.
But I just put a halt in everything. I think everybody's life, all restaurants. Sad to see. You got boards downtown. I'm ready to open this place up again, get some life back in Sacramento.
I know, and it's opening up slowly. Jake's down at K Street. You and him been kind of working together on that. Um, so Elk Grove, how are we looking on that?
It's looking good. It's coming together.
Yeah. And like I said in the beginning, like you're the guy that's doing all this shit. Like I'm just kind of running around like a chicken with his head cut off. But yeah, just in the last week or two, like it really looks like it's coming along. And I really want to thank you for the hard work that you're putting in out there, and all around the company, because you're still bouncing around, doing K Street, checking in on Northgate. How is this experience versus any other restaurant job you've had?
It's definitely challenging. It's just different because like if you're running one restaurant, you have your same crew, you do one schedule. When you have all these different, you have two food trucks, a commissary, another restaurant, the schedules get a lot tougher. Mm-hmm. So especially when the small truck was going back to T&R, there was like 5 schedules going on.
Yeah.
You got people that bounce around. That's probably the most difficult part.
Yeah.
And then just controlling, to what we have about 25 employees right now, just keeping up with all of them. It's challenging, but it's worth it.
The request days off.
Oh yeah, that folder's getting bigger and bigger.
I didn't make the request day off sheet, just so everybody knows out there, it wasn't Cecil. Hey man, you ready to play some games?
Let's play some games.
All right. So we got top 5.
Top 5.
All right, we need Matthew Rocha's top 5 restaurants. It could be, I want to keep it to Sac, but you could go, I know you're from Citrus Heights and all. So if you got some little hole in the walls out there, please let me know.
Yeah, okay. So we start with 5. Let's go right next. Let's go our neighbors. I used to always love to go to this place. Their happy hour. The crew from Cask and Barrel used to always visit them. Ella,
all right. Have they opened back up yet?
I don't think so. I think they're still shut down, but they need to soon. And date nights. You get a pretty lady, perfect place to take them.
There you go. See, Matt got a lot of pretty ladies on his team, everybody out there.
Easy over there.
All right, number 4.
Number 4, I'm going to go a little hole-in-the-wall place out in Citrus Heights. Or no, that's not Citrus Heights. It's off Auburn and Watt. It's a little Mongolian barbecue spot. You walk in, you get that bowl, you get another bowl, and stack that meat. Pile that baby high.
You got to push it. You got to push it down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And cool story about that place. One night we came in about 15 minutes before they closed, which you should never do. But the guy was cool enough to let us get on that big hot top and cook our own food that one night.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Man. How was that experience?
It was harder than you think.
With those sticks?
With the big old sticks. The hardest part is getting that food back in your bowl.
Oh, yeah, because they do the little...
Yep.
Yeah.
Half of it goes on the floor.
Man, I miss Mongolian barbecue. I got to go hit up a place. All right, go ahead. All right, number 3.
Number 3, it's always a good meal. When you want a burger, you got to add chilies to it, though. In and out.
In and out, okay.
In and out.
All right. Not a big fan of it, but you guys, I'm not going to argue.
Where's your burger spot?
Yeah, it's a little place called Cecil's House.
Oh, okay.
I like Monsoon Burgers over there in Natomas. They do really good burgers. A lot of different styles. I get the Meat Freak, which has pastrami and bacon on it. And It is, like it's a once a monther, but Yeah, but you could get like curly fries. You could get regular fries, onion rings. It's one of those old school spots. Always get a cookie dough ice cream, ice milkshake. So yeah, very good.
There
All
you
right.
go.
This is not my top 5. This is yours. All right.
Number
Number 2.
Number 2, we're gonna go. Always a good meal is crew. If you want some fresh sushi,
Yes.
that pork belly and uni,
Okay.
delicious.
I like it.
And then going up, number 1 is a spot out in Folsom, right next to Land Ocean. It's an Italian spot, Visconti's.
Visconti's. Okay, I've heard of it. Never
I'm
been.
good friends with the owner, Frank and Tista. Frank is the chef. Tista runs the front of the house.
Okay.
Their mom and dad are always walking around. The dad's walking around kissing all the ladies.
Old school.
Yep, rolling the cannolis in the back. It's a great spot. They make you feel like family there.
Nice. Man. All right, Visconti's in the building. So I want to kind of back it up a little bit, to when we first got together. There's another guy that I always want to shout out, and it's Jason Hockman. Yeah. I should have did this a little bit earlier, but tell me a little bit about Jason. And Jason, I gotta get you on here, man. I know you're gonna be listening to this.
You're coming up next.
Yeah. But tell me a little about the Hawk. Stories that you could tell, because he got kids.
He got kids now, huh? Hawk's a great guy. I mean, I know I've worked with him and his wife for a while. I think they're still at Land Ocean.
They're at Land Ocean, Roseville. Yep.
Yeah. Hawk's a great guy, man. He's making some good drinks, loves the party, or used to love the party, I guess.
Used to love the party.
Yeah, nothing but good things to say about Jason Hawk.
Yeah, and and the reason why I bring him up is because he's the one that was always telling me about you. He was like, "This is a dude named Matt. Yeah, we call him Roach, and he's like you. He's just like you, And I just remember for years and years and years, I was like, "Dude, stop fucking telling me about this guy." And I think that's how we kind of got together, is through Hockma. Because
and Whitney too, Whitney Lewis.
Yeah, Whitney. Yep, Whitney. Yeah, that's the home girl. That's the homie. Yeah, Whitney and yeah, I think you're drinking with them just like I was drinking with them.
The safety meetings we used to call them.
Yeah, the safety meetings. Yeah, we used to have a lot of those. The Baileys and coffee on Saturday mornings. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Whitney. Shout out to Whitney. All right. Okay, Matt. I called you earlier. I told you to be ready for this next one. All right. We're about to come in hot. So, Matthew, Rocha, it is time to come in hot.
All right. We're coming in hot, and we're keeping it nice and proper. I know there's a lot of hot chicken places out in Sac coming up, but we're still coming for you. We're still the best out there. So yes. We started this thing, and we're gonna keep it going.
And the reason why I started Nash and Proper and why I just shotgun the whole idea is because I saw this trend coming. I saw this hot chicken trend coming, and I argued with Jake. Like, dude, we need to open up a hot chicken trailer, because if we don't, somebody else is going to come in here and say they did it first. So there's a reason why I opened this shit up so fucking fast. is that reason right there. So all you guys coming in, I'm sure your food is good. And there's a reason why I haven't tried you, because I can't fuck with the hot shit. And I know you, but at the same time, we were the first to be here. We're going to be the last to be here, because I got Matthew Rocha on my side. That's why.
There we go. Coming in hot.
Hey, Matthew, thank you so much. You are a brilliant guy. I just want to thank you. And my wife thanks you because I get to be home at a decent time. Nah, but with all seriousness, I just want to thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the hard work that you put in. I appreciate how you run this business. And, you know, like I let you go out there. I let you do your thing because I have 100% respect for you and for the job that you do. So I just want to tell you this while all these 100 people are listening out there that that I really appreciate everything that you do for me and for Nash and Proper. So thank you.
Thank you. See, I appreciate you.
All right. Okay. This is the show. Thank you for coming in hot. I know you can listen anywhere, or to any other podcast, but I just want to thank everybody out there. This was Meet the Crew. You can holler at me at Chef Cease, at Coming In Hot, at Nash and Proper on all social media networks, and www.Nash and Proper to order those delicious Nashville hot chicken sandwiches out there, Sacramento. See you next week. Love ya. Peace.